Welcome back to the Utah Rally. We've completed 7.5 kilometers so far for the first stage. Now it's time for the final 4.5. This time taking place on the bumpy gravel roads of Utah. So let's see how our competitors get along. First up on the stage, we'll be joining Robot. They've already started in the Project Valkyrie. Now, first thing to mention is this time we're going to be we've got this order from the first stage on the left. We're going to be going from bottom to top. So slowest first, and then we'll have the quickest cars from the first stage at the end. So Robot here in the Project Valkyrie only made it about a kilometer into the first stage before having that crash that took them out, ending up in a bush, sustaining too much damage to the rear right tyre. Has already got further into the stage this time, so it's going well so far. But with just how bumpy the stage is, could struggle quite a bit. Project Valkyrie really not handling the bumps well. You can kind of see already. Car getting a little bit twitchy. But so far it's been nice and clean from Robot, keeping it under control. Hopefully we'll make the end of this stage. Now, next start the stage is Arizona in the Archwing limo, and has accidentally started the stage in reverse. So that's great going, but good reactions to not lose too much time. Another one of our competitors, of course, starting with the slowest. We have all our non-finishers from the first stage at the start here. All of them will be hoping to get to the end of this second stage this time. So we could see a bit of caution from them as they're sort of in their own wee battle. They've been giving a nominated time of 10 minutes for the first stage and allowed to restart, of course. But you can see Arizona being quite cautious, it's fair to say. Given they crashed on the tarmac roads, it's not too much of a surprise. Let's make their way up to this left-hander, cutting it slightly. Gotta be careful for the rocks on the right-hand side if you run wide. They're ready to catch any unsuspecting victim out. Robot now has passed the first split at 2.4 kilometers with 149.9. Coming up to the end of stage, 3 minutes in. They're running a little bit wide to this left-hander, and that's a hidden rock that they've ran right over. It's torn half the front wing off the car, and it's possibly done some big suspension damage. They're trying to get going again. Oh, look at that front wheel collapsing. That is likely not going to reach the end, as we now switch on board with Iris, who's just starting the stage in the Ibex Rally. Very committed during the first stage. That ended up being her undoing, overshooting a corner. Is looking committed so far. It's running wide again. That's a rock into another rock. That's a lot of damage on the roof, but hopefully maybe she's got away with that. Maybe the suspension is undamaged as we make our way down the hill. Oh no, that doesn't look to be steering as it rolls off the stage. Once again, aggression getting the better of Iris. We now jump on board with Arizona again, getting through the first split. 2 seconds up on Robot, but is going to instantly be losing that time. Has to reverse down off the hill, wasn't able to quite make the corner, and is having to reverse again here. Is there maybe damage? They hit the wall slightly as they got through the chicane, but it didn't look like a major tap, and as you can, they're turning full lock to the left here and just trying not to slide down the mountain, which they've still done that, so that looks like it sustained major steering damage, unfortunately. And yeah, that's going to be the end of Arizona's stage as well. 3 DNFs to start the stage. How unfortunate. Now we've got Dodge 26 up in the eSport RC Dodgeworth, the 4th of our DNFers. Dodge took quite a bit of risk in the first stage, made a couple of mistakes, was getting away with it up until the final sort of kilometre and a half, and is immediately made another mistake, got wide, fell off a rock, luckily hasn't fallen too far down the edge of the hill. Might be able to climb their way back up. Yeah, they have. Now the important question is, have they also sustained steering damage? Steering damage has put out all three of our competitors so far. Is it a fourth? Car looks to be okay. We know Dodge got very lucky in the first stage, hit a rock on the door and managed to escape damage. But was crabbing from the start of the stage, hitting the same bush that Robot did. Seems to have got away with the tumble so far. Of course, it was running into a guardrail that effectively rolled them out of the stage. But they've managed to keep going so far. Now, the last of our non-finishers from first stage, Nerefs in the Naru Kunlai, gets going. Made it so close to the end of stage. Was about half a kilometre away from the end, for they ran wide over some bumps. So hopefully that has hopefully we'll be able to see them make it to the end of this stage. But it's a clean, tidy start. They've not fallen off the edge of the cliff that we've seen from a couple of people so far. Oh, running a little wide here, but just keeps it on the stage. You can see car bouncing around down the hill, bouncing over the junction. It transitions to tarmac very briefly. We head back to Dodge, who's got past the first split, and to no surprise with that off is 5.4 seconds down on Arizona, but we know neither Arizona nor Robot made it to the end of the stage. So you can see some dangerous rocks just lying at the edge of the stage. We could potentially catch some people out down the line. Car getting a bit sideways, nearly oversteered into a rock, but Dodge has kept it under control. Coming up now towards the end of the stage. Not running wide like Robot did earlier. Right through the abandoned building. It was just one corner to go. Final hairpin over the crest, braking for the hairpin. It's a little deep into the hairpin, but gets a good exit and it's run up to the line. Our first time will be a 3-minute 33.4 for the stage, and that's set the benchmark for everyone else. But good to see Dodge making it to the end. Nerefs now at the split point, 1 second off Arizona, 4.4 up on Dodge though, crucially. So can Nerefs hold on to this advantage through the last half of the stage? Runs a little bit wide into a bush. That looks like it might be only a light tap, so hopefully doesn't sustain any damage. Keeps it out of that rock. That rock is just waiting to collect someone later down the stage. But the damage doesn't seem to be too bad, but that could be the difference between beating Dodge and not. Of course, Dodge and Nerefs not finishing the previous stage, so all they have really to fight for is this stage position. Now we switch to Not to Bees in the Enorm Rally. Was the second slowest of our finishers in the last stage. P-Fugs has also started the stage, and Bees, has already ran wide. A couple of rocks, lucky not to fall off the edge. The rock sort of held them onto the stage. They've had to get reversed to get going the right way again, but that's some crucial time loss there. As Nerefs now into the final hairpin, gets a little wide. Ooh, the rear front gang stepped out of the corner. Get back quite a bit of understeer, and it'll be a 339.1 for them. we're actually hearing they go 5-second penalty for a jump start in refs. So that'll put them down at 10.7 seconds off. We switch to P-Fugs. As we've seen them having a little wide moment. As they come up to the end, we don't quite have their split time. Unfortunately, they'll err there. But as they make their way through the end of the stage, it's a bit of a surprise then. They were the slowest of our stage 1 finishers, having had a roll in the stage. They've kept it clean this time, are coming to the end of the stage. It's looking much better now, just over 3:10. It'll be a 3:12.1. That puts them into the quickest time through the stage so far, and will obviously put them into the lead of the rally for anyone else who's come through. 21.3 seconds ahead of Dodge. Now we have Orange up in the Vorpal STTS rally. You know, this car has quite a bit of downforce, quite a bit of grip, but a little bit of a struggle to tame the car in the first stage. So let's see how Orange gets on with the Vorpal in the second stage. Over the gravel, the downforce could be quite useful to help keep the car under control over the bumps, or will it struggle with them? Ooh, getting a bit closer with the rocks. As coming up to this hairpin now, how will it fare? Runs it in deep, loses the rear end and has rolled off the stage. Has hit a couple of rocks, and that could be Orange out of the stage. They'll try and get that rolled. As we join back with Not the Base having that early issue. Nearly 40 seconds off at the first split. But again, hopefully they can make it to the end. They'll only be the second person to finish both stages. As we've already had 4 DNFs this stage so far, our initial 3 runners, and Orange just they're rolling out of the stage, unfortunately. So this could be our 4th driver to finish the stage, taking it nice and easy, nice and cautiously, which is, it's always better to get to the end of the stage than to crash out. As they're coming up to the 4-minute mark, just highlighting the safe rather than sorry approach. As they come up to the line now, it will be a little bit of a timing issue there, as we'll check back on that time. Next up into the stage we have Adabo. So we've got confirmation there, not base 52 seconds off of P-Fugs. So that'll be a 4-minute 4. And that slots him into second place in the overall classifications. But Adabo now coming up to the midway chicane, where our split marker is. Nice and easy through the chicane. They're currently 8 seconds off of P-Fugs, but a good 5+ seconds up on the rest of our competitors to have made it through the split so far. Next up, we're going to join Fiona Zombie in the Avante 860 rally. Just half a minute into the stage, and they've run wide over the rocks into the canyon. That could be a bit of suspension damage. It looked like a hard hit. They have to try and get themselves out of this canyon. And they're trying to climb, and doesn't look like it's going to happen. So that might be our next DNF. We jump on board with Adabo, who's ran wide into this right-hander. Lucky to avoid all the bushes and gets doesn't lose too much time. We'll see if that time is crucial, as Adabo was in a close battle with Orange, only 0.2 of a second separating them and Orange coming into the stage, but we know Orange is already DNF'd. So Adabo has got the battle down, and with Fiona DNFing as well, Adabo has a good 20 seconds to find, really, if they're wanting to make up a position. So it's all about bringing it home here for Adabo. They won't know that running in the stage at this point, of course, as they make their way through the abandoned ruins. Through the penultimate corner, just playing it safe. An easy corner, deceptive corner, easy to run wide and fall down the hill. You can pass the finish line, but not in the way that would qualify as finishing the stage. But out of the final hairpin up to the line now, it'll be a 3:28.5. I'll put them in the lead of the rally standings so far, but will not be our fastest run through the first stage. It'll be 16.4 seconds off. Now we've got Phoba into the stage. Only 1.8 seconds off of Viper in their limo. So he's definitely got a couple of positions to potentially make up. Oh, but it's hit the rock there on the right-hander. That's flipped the car. It rolls on its roof and it backs over. That's really lucky right there. Has to reverse back onto the stage. That could have been such a bigger time loss if they had to have their vehicle flipped over for them. Had to get out and flip their vehicle. So a lot of time, you know, is in a way saved there by having the car roll back onto the wheels naturally. As they come up, heading up to the chicane now. How much will they push the chicane? Good change of direction, good run through the chicane. They're 6.7 seconds down on P-Fugs with that roll. They're still up on Adabo, even with that roll, so showing good pace here. Maybe they'll be able to chase down that 7 seconds to take the stage win. As we follow along through this left-hander, a little wide, but keeps out of the cliff face. Has a good exit out of the corner, staying well clear of the rocks on the outside. We've seen a couple of people run wide into this right-hander, and they manage well so far. Keep it out of that rock, which is barely at the it sort of intrudes onto the stage. Cutting that corner a little bit up to the rock edge. Just staying out of the rocks, good precision here, but still flirting with those rocks after that early mistake. Showing a much better precision through the second half of the stage. Only now a few corners to go. 3-minute mark is approaching. 2 corners to go, gets wide, is bouncing on the rocks of the cliff face, and they managed to keep it on the stage. That's quite lucky. They're carting an awkward bounce, maybe a bit of suspension damage from hitting that rock early on. As they come up to the finish, it'll be a 3:15.8. That puts them 2.7 seconds down on P-Fugs at stage classifications. But we'll obviously put them into the rally lead. Just 3.4 seconds off the 8-minute mark overall. Now we switch over to Viper, who is fastest through the split by 1.5 seconds. That limo running well. Let's see how it fares through the second part. It's ran a little bit wide into that rock. I've been mentioning all stage. It's finally cut someone out, but once again, very lucky. Rolls back onto their wheels and is able to carry on with what you have to say is minimal time loss. Could very well still get a competitive stage time here, even with that roll. Very, very lucky indeed. But now coming to the end of the stage. And it's obviously done well to get the limo through the stage so far, even with its size. Definitely not the typical rally car, but it's shown to be somewhat competitive still, which is you've got to respect. Done a great job, as well with Viper driving it. It's done a great job making it as competitive as it is. Runs up to the stage end, it'll be a 3:17.0, just under 5 seconds off the stage finish, and it's 0.4 off of FOBA come the end of the rally. So that roll proving crucial in the end for that position. We jump on board with Haster now, which has taken the fastest time through our split. 1.8 seconds up on Viper, and we'll gain even more time on Viper with that roll. But really, they're fighting P-Fugs, both P-Fugs and Haster in the Alflufer Mosquito. So, two drivers in the same car, the only difference being the drivers. Let's see which of them can get the stage win. Of course, P-Fugs had the roll in the first stage, which cost them a lot of time. They were slowest through the first stage. So they're not fighting for overall result between the two, but they've still got the stage classification to fight for. As I head into the hairpin, good rotation through the hairpin now. And run up to the line, it looks like it's going to be quickest. It's a 3-minute 8.2, and that will be quickest through stage by 3.9 seconds. Taking the stage, or the rally lead by 11 seconds at the end of the stage. Now we jump on board with Dara. And we're going to take a look here at the start of their stage. We hear they've had a bit of an incident. They've had a bounce on a bump, and they've ran wide onto that same cliff face that Fiona did early in the stage. That looks like it's bounced around a lot more in the canyon, and they've ended up on the roof. They've had to get rolled, and they've managed to get out and continue along the stage. We can see at the split time, 31 seconds down. Their real contender was only 11.1 seconds off the stage after stage 1, until he's 31 seconds off in the first split alone. After only 2.5 kilometers, it's now what could have been for Dara. They'll push on to the end of the stage. Doesn't look like they've taken too much damage, as they're still throwing the car around quite a bit, getting it sideways, but ultimately carrying good speed through the corners. Head up to this double right-hander, getting the car turned in nicely. A little wide, just slightly bumping the edge of the hill, but no damage. You can see Darth is confident and comfortable with their car, even after that roll, getting it tucked in nicely to the penultimate left-hander. Now over the crest into the hairpin. Seen a couple of people run deep. Darth, maybe a little bit of over-rotation, but holds on to the car well. They come up to the end of the stage. It'll be a 3:34.7, finishing still 31.6 seconds off the stage win. So not losing any time in that second half of the stage. Shows what could have been had they not had that early roll. And that's also with a 5-second time penalty we're hearing. So Dara even gained time in that final part of stage to finish at 30.1 seconds off the rally. Now we have Clumsy, our penultimate car through the stage. They were 4.4 seconds off of Orange Ghost after the end of stage 1. They can afford to take it a little bit easy with Dara's roll. They've got a bit of safety behind them. But of course I'd like to fight for a stage position. Come through final corner, good rotation. Really good rotation there, up to the line. It'll be a 3-minute 3.3 to be fastest through the stage by 4.9 seconds. And that puts them into the lead of the rally, but does it stay? Orange Ghost now, our fastest competitor through stage 1, is already 1.5 seconds up on Haster at the split. Clumsy was 0.2 seconds down at the split, so Clumsy had a good second half to the stage. How will it compare to Orange Ghost though? It's running up the hill now. This car just looked comfortable. This car doesn't look that quick, but it's so tidy and comfortable that makes up. It's just happens to be quick into this double right-hander. You can see the car responding well to the driver's inputs. Driver not having to fight the car too much, just able to extract time out of the Heightfield Brooklyn. Only 2 corners. Playing it safe into this left-hander. As we've only seen Phoba running wide, was lucky to go away with that mistake earlier on, but Orange Ghost not leaving up to chance. Again, the car slowed down nicely, rotated well into the final corner, and it'll be a 3-minute 0.9 to finish off the rally. 2.4 seconds ahead of Clumsy. Let's get confirmation of final stage results. Haster ending up 7.3 seconds off. With P-Fugs also in the Mosquito, 3.9 seconds off their fellow Mosquito driver. Phoba in the IE Rally, 13.9 seconds off ahead of Viper, 16.1 seconds off. Big gap then of 11.5 seconds down to Adabo, 27.5 seconds off. Then we have Dodge in 8th, 32.5. Dara then with that roll, 38.8 seconds off stage. What could have been if it was not for that roll. The refs, 43.2 seconds off, and not the base. Own driver over a minute off stage, but still finishing in P11, 1 minute 3.2 off. 11 finishers. Then we have Robot, first of our non-finishers in P12, ahead of Arizona Orange, Fiona Zombie, Iris, and Artie not starting the stage, having to retire before the stage. So that's our stage result. Looking at the final result now, Orange winning both stages, completing the rally in 7 minutes 34, 6.8 seconds ahead of Clumsy. Haster rounding off the podium at 19 seconds off. Phoba just beating out Viper by 0.4 of a second, both of them by 30 seconds off. And Dara with that roll, 48.9 seconds off. Could have been a podium for Dara without that roll. Then we've Adabo just over a minute off in P7. P-Fugs, that roll in the first stage, what could have been if it wasn't for that roll? Nearly 1 minute 40 off. Not the base, slowest car to complete both stages, 2 minutes 14.0 off. Then we have Dodge, 6 minutes off. Nerefs, also about 6 minutes off. Then Fiona's on Orange and Artie, just over 7.5 minutes off, not completing the second stage. Then we have Robot, Arizona, and Iris, who failed to complete both stages. That is it for the BeamNG Utah Rally. Thank you, everyone, much for watching us. We'll be back with more rallies later this year. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.